This is the Tigers Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Detroit Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome into a live Locked On Tigers postcast. Is this team just not the most fun? I mean, you have Not Day yesterday, right back at it. It's another series opening win. The Tigers are 18-4 in their last series opener, and we are here to talk about it. My name is Jake Riepma. You can follow me on Twitter at Jake_Riepma, formerly with 97.1 The Ticket, the Tigers flagship radio station, now with Locked On Sports Detroit, and fired up to bring you the Locked On Tigers postcast. Here's what we've got going on for today's episode. It was a nice series opening win. The offense produces, specifically in the fifth inning. And how about Sawyer Gipson-Long's outing? We'll discuss that. And the bullpen made it a little bit nerve-wracking, but I think that's because we've gotten so spoiled with our bullpen. But still, the lead was large enough to surrender some late inning runs and still get the win. So buckle up, dial it in, fire up that comment box. I'll have my talking point, our turning point, and of course, our player of the game. Sound like a plan? Let's do it on the live Locked On Tigers postcast, your team each and every day. We invite you to like and subscribe. And why wouldn't you like and subscribe when you're following the best team in baseball? You got free content every day. The Daily Show with Scott Bentley and the postgame show, the reaction show with yours truly. So let's do it. I'm excited to read all the comments, but we begin where we always do. The most important takeaway and the talking point when you look at this 5-3 win for the Detroit Tigers.
This is what you'll be talking about.
How about a Torque Bomb Tuesday? That's what they're calling it on the postgame show, and I can certainly get on board with that. Spencer Torkelson, another home run. He's leading this team with 16 home runs and goes absolutely a bomb in that fifth inning to continue the offensive output for this Detroit Tigers team. And they needed it with the way the Orioles were starting to fight back there at the end. So when I'm looking at this game, I'm looking at Spencer Torkelson's production. He continues to get it done. I mentioned it's his 16th home run of the season. That leads the Detroit Tigers, which you absolutely love to see. Now, as we look back at this game in its entirety, you love the Tigers getting on top early with the Wenzel Paris sac fly in the second inning. And how about Zach McKinstry? 2 more triples from him tonight. He just gets it done and is that high energy motor that when he puts the ball in play, you always feel like he can stretch it into a triple. Javi Baez getting in on the action with an RBI single in the fourth. In that fifth inning, the Tigers hit for the cycle as a team consecutively. You got a single. You got the Dylan Dingler single. You got the Spencer Torkelson home run, which I mentioned, and the Riley Green extra base hit in there, the McKinstry triple, all that good stuff going on in that fifth inning from the Detroit Tigers. And listen, I'll admit it, I'm getting spoiled watching this team. You probably are too, because I probably say it far too often, but when you're the best team in baseball, I'm never going to not stop saying that because we should enjoy it. I mean, this is a great team. And I was talking with my brother during the game of how wrong I was. And I have no problem admitting how wrong I was about Scott Harris and his approach to building this team. And look at the roster that we have right now and enjoying the fruits of the labor from years past and the acceleration to where this team is now compared to, 18 months ago, and even less than that, a year ago. I mean, it certainly did not feel like this. I remember doing shows a year ago on July 4th and thinking, man, this is a really, really bleak outlook on this team moving forward. But I couldn't be any more wrong, and I couldn't be any more excited to admit how wrong I was. So a lot going on for the Detroit Tigers on another win. And I know I mentioned it in the opening, but now that I'm not rushing through an open, I think it's worth revisiting that this team is 18-4 in series openers. I mean, 18 out of 22 times you're starting the series off on the right foot in the win column, and 11 of their last 12. It's just insanity when you say it out loud, which is exceptional for the Detroit Tigers. And you just can't get enough of it. Let's read some of your comments. I know there's a lot of them to get to. And as always, I appreciate the participation, the collaboration. And what a great comment to begin with. Jason Walter, winning is fun. Completely agree. Detroit Sports Talk. Is Alex Cobb going to play this season for the Tigers? A little worried about that. I had that exact same conversation with my grandparents on the phone the other day, and they seem to think, yeah, he'll be back. And I watched the video and I saw the reports of his 2 innings and just maybe he doesn't look physically able and ready. And I don't know. I'm not in the medical prediction business. That's certainly far, far above my pay grade, as a lot of this is. And all I can tell you is what, the God honest truth is that I'm hoping for the best. All right. Rufus T-Cat says, hey, we won. And I'm sure, by the way, back to that comment, I'm sure Scott Bentley will get into a deep dive on the Alex Cobb situation and all the injured players for that matter. Mark is up next. Hey, good to see you back, Mark. I know you're a regular contributor to the program, and appreciate you getting the comments in on the comment section. Who said McKinstry isn't an everyday player? Well, he's certainly an everyday player in my book and should be an all-star. It will be interesting to see. I know the fan voting is going on right now, so vote your Tigers to the all-star game because they're obviously deserving of it. And Zach McKinstry is at the top of the list. He's a top 20 WAR player in all of baseball, and there's a lot of different ways to measure productivity, but that is certainly at the top of the list. All right, we've got Demetrius McNeil up next. Fresh off a series win over the Chicago Cubs, Tigers go to Baltimore and win game 1. Hey, Siri, play the song. The Tigers won again. I had that song going in my head when I put together the thumbnail. Tigers won again. The Tigers won again. Zing Dad is up next. And that was crazy. I think I somehow said that. Demetrius just made my Siri go off in the background. My music started playing. That was wild. Let me try to reel it back in here. Here we go. Zing Dad, nice win. 8th inning got a little hairy, but the Tigers got out of it. Yes, that's exactly what's on my list to cover and some of the areas to be a little bit more concerned about. But Canley comes in and gets the punch out to end the 8th inning. And we've been saying this all year. The top end of the bullpen for the Detroit Tigers is solid. Really, really good. And you could use the term top heavy to describe this Tigers bullpen with Will Vest and Tommy Canley. The others still leaving some to be desired. But, hey, Will Vest gave up a home run tonight as well. However, it is worth noting just his second home run given up of the season and first home run since his first appearance of the season. So it had been a long, long time since he had given up a home run. All right. The dude says, does Zach McKinstry only hit triples? What a pickup he has become. Indeed, like I mentioned, top 20 WAR player in all of baseball. YouTube user, I thought the Avila administration missed when they drafted Spencer Torkelson. Looks like I was wrong. And the Spencer Torkelson discussion is fascinating. I think the story is continuing to be written. You certainly could make a case for comeback player of the year for how good he has been this year in comparison to the significant drop-off we saw last year. And really, the outlook was bleak for Spencer Torkelson as even being a big league caliber player. And now all of a sudden he's one of the best in the game. So I think he'll be an all-star as well. And again, you got to give him a lot of credit for the resiliency that he has shown. All right. We've got a lot of people coming in with the player of the game, and we'll get to that in the second portion of the program. Gary Myers checking in. 20 wins over 100. Yes. Tigers will have an 8-game lead after tonight. That sounds pretty good. And I know Jason Benetti and not Andy Dirks tonight. Instead, it was Dan Petrie tonight. Peaches was on the call. They were talking about stockpiling some wins and building some distance in the Central Division. So absolutely. All right, a lot of more comments to get into. I appreciate everybody's collaboration on the program, because that's part of the engine that makes this thing go. It's a live show, a live postcast, and that's why we appreciate your comments on the broadcast to mix everybody in our Locked On Tigers postcast community. Don't go anywhere. We're just getting started. Lots more to come on the other side. We'll have our turning point and our player of the game, and we'll take some more comments. Appreciate everybody tuning in to this edition of the Locked On Tigers postcast. Back in a moment. Hey, this episode of the Locked On Tigers postcast is brought to you by Supply House. Get the supplies you need from the site that's made for the skilled trade, Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website, well, guess what? It's packed with helpful resources and the latest product information to help you get the job done right. Plus, the complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400-plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. And if you need help with an order, well, guess what? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service. You'll always talk to a real person, my favorite part, by the way. And for the trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. And did I mention it's a free program? Thousands of skilled trade professionals already take advantage, and now it's your turn. So join the Trade Master program at supplyhouse.com/TM, supplyhouse.com/TM, and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com, supplyhouse.com. This episode of the Locked On Tigers postcast is also brought to you by our friends at Monarch Money. We've all had that moment where you check your account and you wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, oh yeah, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in. Your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. No. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So you stop just managing your money, my friends, and you start building wealth. Build some wealth. There's surprising insights. I know when I started using Monarch, I was realizing just how much I was spending on things I didn't necessarily need or things I could cut out a little bit. Food delivery, so on and so forth. And now I budget smarter and save more thanks to the help of Monarch Money. There's easy collaboration tools as well that makes managing with your partner. And that's something I need to start doing now that I'm engaged. Yeah, there you go. Your partner is that's smoother and easier than ever. You can track shared personal accounts, set goals together, and stay on the same page without any of the stress. So take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB. That's code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first order. 50% off your first order at monarchmoney.com. Code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. Tigers win again. The Tigers won again. 5-3, the final in this one. Things you absolutely love. The Tigers winning the opener of the series, and they do it all the time. 11 of their last 12. Now, Sawyer Gipson-Long, we didn't talk enough about him, but how about the opener and Herder being used? He goes 2 1/3, gives up just the one earned run. He struck out 3. Chase Lee comes in to get the final out of that third inning and gets the win. He's now 3-0 on the season. And then you hand the ball to Sawyer Gipson-Long. 4.2 innings, so 4 2/3, 3 hits, and 5 strikeouts. I thought he took a significant step forward tonight. And not that he was bad in his opening start by any means, but you just see the growth and the improvement in a short time since he was able to have that experience under his belt to where he is now. And I think it happens fast in the major leagues. They always joke in football, that old cliche, the most improvement you make is from week 1 to week 2. And I think that's what we saw from Sawyer Gipson-Long, start number 1 to start number 2. Hopefully that monumental giant step forward of improvement is a sign of things to come. Now, Tommy Kahnle comes in, gets that much important out in the final out of the 8th inning, and Will Vest gives up the home run, but fortunately it was a save situation in which he had a little bit of wiggle room, and he's still able to earn his 11th save. So time now, without further ado, to get into our turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
And there you go. We just fired our producer. Don't worry. We fired the producer. He hit the wrong button. That's why you heard the long pause there. So, and the producer happens to be me. It's a little self-producing action. So hand up. I screwed that one up, and I do apologize. But where were we? Turning point in this one. That's exactly where we were. The 5th inning. How about that? This Detroit Tigers offense takes a game in which they had the 1-run lead, 2-1. And with 2 outs and the bases empty, they go to work. And the ability to manufacture a rally in that 5th inning with, again, 2 outs, but seemed to be a harmless inning for the Baltimore Orioles because Jones had lined out, Torres had grounded out, and then all of a sudden Riley Green hits a double. Then Dylan Dingler singles him home. Great. You got to run with 2 outs. You're up 3-1. Oh, no, that's not it. Spencer Torkelson goes yard to make it 5-1. Zach McKinstry triples, but he was left on third. So point being 5-1, the turning point of this one, that top of the 5th inning where the Tigers manufactured 3 runs with the bases empty and 2 outs. Again, things you love to see. Let's do our player of the game. Maybe this bumper will go smooth.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Couple of choices with this one. I got to give it to Spencer Torkelson with the long ball, the 2-run homer for him. Zach McKinstry right on the list as well. In fact, we could break that down and go back and forth. Who do you think was the player of the game? I saw some comments there for Zach McKinstry. He was 2 for 4 with the 2 triples and scored a run. Spencer Torkelson was 1 for 4, but had the 2-run homer and, of course, scored a run there. And the turnaround that Spencer Torkelson has shown has just been so refreshing and exciting to see from the Tigers' perspective there. So let me know what you think in the comments. Game number 2 of this game, or of this series, I should say. The Detroit Tigers and Baltimore Orioles getting back at it tomorrow night. Looking forward to the show then. And you know what? It's going to be a lot of fun to hop back on here and discuss the best team in baseball once again. I mean, what a treat. What a pleasure. We get to do this every single night. So I thank you for being a part of it. And again, the show does not work without you. And reminder, if you enjoyed today's show, let us know. Let us know in the comments and go ahead and like and subscribe and tell a friend about it, because that is how we grow. Last I checked, we're at around 6,700 subscribers, but the best team in baseball deserves more than that. So tell a friend. And again, hey, even if you don't love it, well, I hope you love it. I don't know where I was going with that. You should love it. It's a Locked On Tigers postcast. But check out Locked On Tigers with Scott Bentley on the daily and me on the post-game reaction show. A little housekeeping programming note later in the week, and I'll touch on this again on Wednesday. On Thursday and Friday, I will be traveling, going to look at wedding venues. So there you go. A little get personal here on the Locked On Tigers postcast, but doing some traveling to look at the wedding venues and eventually book a wedding venue, because I got to do that married thing now that I've proposed and am engaged. So still finalizing exactly when I'll be able to do shows in the end of this week into the weekend. So just bear with me. I do appreciate it. And I hate to share so much personal stuff, but I'm rewatching the Tigers. That's for sure. I mean, there's nothing I love more than Tiger baseball. So make sure you like and subscribe to Locked On Tigers, and we'll see you next time, which will be tomorrow night, Tigers and Orioles. And don't forget Tarek Skubal going in the finale in this one. So Tigers beat the Orioles 5-3, and they continue to cruise. They're now 20 games above 500 at 44-24. Best team in baseball. Man, this is fun. See you tomorrow night on Locked On Tigers postcast.